Hey there, welcome to the channel. My name is James, and here at 20th and 21st Movies, we're about all things cinema. All right, I hope you're having a great day, whatever time of the day you're watching this video. It is early in the morning as the time I am recording this video, and I just had a chance to let my dog Shiloh out and feed him this morning. He didn't feel much like eating at all this morning, which is fine. He'll just eat a little bit later. So had a chance to take care of the dog. I'm about to go live to do my Criterion Collection Blu-ray giveaways of the Blu-rays of Brazil and Barry Lyndon. So I'm about to do that in a few minutes. But in the meantime, I'm going to share with you my thoughts on a new 4K release in the Criterion Collection of The Big Heat. This is the 1953 noir film from director Fritz Lang, and it stars Gloria Grahame and Glenn Ford. This is going to be, I think, one of my favorite noirs over time. This is such an intense, fantastic noir film. So I want to take some time this morning to share my thoughts with you on what I think about this movie, which I think you are gathering that I'm liking this film. I'm liking this film quite a lot. And this is a film I plan to revisit from time to time. It is a really good, intense noir film. So if you're into noir films, this is a film you're going to want to keep your eye on for the Barnes & Noble sale in July or November if you're catching this at a later time. And then I'll tell you what I think about the 4K picture. This is a 4K Ultra HD release, Dolby Vision, so it's got that 4K quality to it as well as a Dolby Vision grade. So how does it look on 4K? And then we'll talk about the supplements and whether or not this is a package you ought to consider picking up in the Criterion Collection sale or another sale, or even on Amazon at 30% off later on this year. So let's talk about it. All right, we're talking about The Big Heat on Criterion Collection 4K. This is going to be a little bit of a more casual type of review. I'm sort of multitasking this morning, so hope you don't mind the more sort of laid back style here, and we'll just get into it. I got some PowerPoint slides, and on my PowerPoint slides, I had to redo these slides last night, folks. I was actually going to do this recording last night, and I got on my MacBook here, and I tried to pull up the presentation, and for some reason, it could no longer access the presentation. I think I might have deleted it inadvertently. I might have moved it to the trash and just deleted it and didn't even know. So it was looking for it in a specific location and it was no longer accessible. So I had to redo these slides, but hey, no problem. You're worth it. I am happy to do so. Well, I don't like doing rework, but I did the rework. I got my slides here, so we're going to get into them right now. So this first slide here, The Big Heat, this is my cover slide. This is a 1953 film from director Fritz Lang. And I tell you what, this is a raw, emotionally intense noir classic that is now in Criterion Collection's 4K collection. It's a film that packs a visceral punch, and it deserves everyone's attention. It deserves your attention. This film starts as a procedural and it spirals into personal revenge and moral reckoning. We watch Detective Dave Banyan, who's played by Glenn Ford, investigating a cop's death, but the case becomes a fight against deep-seated corruption. The plot moves fast, but it's Ford's simmering performance and Lang's rigid composition that make it unforgettable. This is an unforgettable film noir, folks. If you're a fan of film noir, this is definitely a film that you'll want to see. And I want to know in the comments section, for those of you who have seen this 1953 film from Fritz Lang, what do you think about this film? Now, I'll read the back of the case to give you a little bit more of a flavor from Criterion's perspective. It says, The Big Heat. Noir doesn't get any more hard-boiled than this scorching tale of vice and retribution, a film that finds director Fritz Lang working at the peak of his Hollywood style, stripped to the bone, simmering with outrage and fatalistic to the core. A tightly wound Glenn Ford stars as a homicide detective whose investigation into a sprawling crime syndicate becomes a shockingly personal, hate-fueled quest for revenge. Co-starring an iconic Gloria Grahame as the mink-coated gangster's mole with her own axe to grind, and featuring a supporting cast led by a sensationally sleazy Lee Marvin. The Big Heat hits with raw, unstoppable force. Absolutely. This is such a fantastic film. And I think part of what makes this film so awesome is all the performances from everybody. But starting with Glenn Ford as Dave Banyan. You see Glenn Ford in so many different aspects of his character. You see his evolution over time. You see him as a family man. You see him as a detective and a cop who is just heck bent on revenge for something that has happened, going after the mob, going after the syndicate, and you see that rough and tough side of him, but you also see that personal family man side of him. And he does a great job of showing you those different aspects of his character and the evolution of his character over time as this narrative plays out and events come his way that bring out that rougher and tougher side of him. You also have a wonderful Gloria Grahame in this film. She is absolutely fantastic. Wonderful actress. She plays a woman who is involved with the mob. She is connected to Lee Marvin, who is in this syndicate, who is absolutely sleazy and horrible. And he is great in his role. And I really enjoyed seeing a younger version of Lee Marvin in this film. And I just think they're just fantastic. I think all of these leads, Glenn Ford, Gloria Grahame, Lee Marvin, fantastic in this film, as well as all the supporting characters that I'll get to in a few minutes. But let's talk a little bit about director Fritz Lang. Now, with Fritz Lang here, we have Fritz Lang from German expressionism to noir master. He has directed landmark films such as Metropolis and M, as you see here. He immigrated to Hollywood, bringing German expressionist style to American noir. He's known for moral complexity, shadows, fatalism, and The Big Heat is his most brutal and emotionally direct American film. This is a brutal, intense noir that has really some sequences that will probably make you go a little ajar for a moment. You'll be like, oh, wow. It's really intense. And I think that's part of the power of this film is it has is softer, quiet, more endearing moments, but then it has those intense moments too. And that's what makes this noir film very powerful. And I think one of the reasons why I think this is going to end up being one of my personal favorites in the noir space. It's been a great discovery for me. Let's talk a little bit about Glenn Ford, his quiet force in the lead. And as I mentioned, Glenn Ford's character evolves over time in this film. You see him in different aspects across this film, from the warm, endearing family man who has this wonderful, rich relationship with his wife in this film and his daughter, his young daughter. And then you see him going after the syndicate, and you see that rough and tumble side of him in this film. Just a fantastic performance from Glenn Ford. He's known for the film Gilda, which is also in the Criterion collection, 3:10 to Yuma. Both of those are in the collection, and both are highly recommended for this sale. And he's also known for everyman roles. He plays Detective Dave Banyan, grieving, determined, morally upright. He balances inner rage with emotional restraint and a subdued but powerful performance that really anchors this film. So Glenn Ford is fantastic in this film. He is just a fantastic actor overall, and I've enjoyed him in everything I've seen him in. I've only seen him in a few films like 3:10 to Yuma, Gilda, and now this film. And I'm trying to think what else I've seen him in, but he is just one of the great classic Hollywood actors. Then we have Gloria Grahame and Lee Marvin. Now, as I mentioned before, Gloria Grahame is connected to the mob. She's working for the syndicate and one of its hitmen in this film, Lee Marvin. And their relationship is basically marked by fire and tragedy. Gloria Grahame's Debbie, she plays the character named Debbie. She breaks the mold of the classic femme fatale. Transformation is tragic, moving, and heroic. And Lee Marvin's Vince Stone, wow, he is sadistic, dangerous, unpredictable, and their scenes together are unforgettable and tension-filled. I mean, they are like oil and water together, but they have a chemistry, but there's such volatility in their relationship. Just the volatile nature of Lee Marvin's character as this member of the syndicate and his relationship with this woman, Debbie, and how he treats women in general, which is not all that well, is definitely something you'll note and see in this film. Gloria Grahame and Lee Marvin are fantastic together in this movie. Now, let's talk about how this looks on 4K Ultra HD. So this is a new 4K digital restoration, uncompressed binaural soundtrack. You get one 4K Ultra HD disc of the film presented in Dolby Vision, HDR, and one Blu-ray with the film and special features. So you open it up, and this is what you see inside. You see this 4K disc right here that has the movie, and you also have this Blu-ray disc. And you also have, on the inside here, this booklet, or this little fold-out. And when I open up the fold-out, I will go to the section that talks about the master right here, which I always love to read about the master. You also have some nice pictures in here, by the way. Quite nice. But it says here, the Big Heat is presented in the aspect ratio of 1.37 to 1. This new 4K restoration was undertaken by Sony Pictures Entertainment and was created from the 35mm original camera negative and a 35mm fine grain master positive. So the original camera negative and a 35mm fine grain master positive. So some pretty solid elements to work with here. And the result is, with that 4K digital restoration, the Dolby Vision grade, the result is absolutely lustrous. This film looks so beautiful on the 4K format. I tell you what, one of the things I really am appreciating with film restoration is the restoration of a lot of these classics. And this is a classic film from 1953 in black and white. And it has been given the 4K restoration treatment with Dolby Vision, and it looks absolutely beautiful, lustrous. You have beautiful representation of grayscale in this film, the gradients of the blacks and the whites. You get to appreciate the full grayscale in all of its nuance based upon that Dolby Vision grade. You have wonderful detail, definition, and clarity. It's just a beautifully restored, sharp-looking image that looks fantastic. I mean, you're not going to mistake this for a film that was shot yesterday, but for a film from 1953, it looks absolutely fantastic. It's been beautifully restored, beautifully cleaned up. You don't see any evidence of specks or dirt or anything. All that's been cleaned away, and it has just been beautifully restored to being a clean, detailed, organic-looking image. And I think black and white films restored today properly can look absolutely fantastic, whether they have a Dolby Vision grade or not. I think the Dolby Vision just adds a little bit more punch to the way that the grayscale is represented and the dynamic range of the image. And that's fully realized with this picture here. It looks wonderful on 4K. Now, I did not have a chance to pop in the Blu-ray to see, well, I did pop in the Blu-ray to see the supplements, but I didn't watch the actual film on Blu-ray. But I can imagine it also looks quite well. It doesn't have the benefit of the HDR grade there, but you do have the benefit of that restoration and the detail and the cleanness and the clarity and the depth of the image is probably all there on the Blu-ray as well. The 4K gives you the benefit of that extra resolution and the HDR and just adds a little bit more punch to the image. But you're getting that same restoration on both discs, albeit on the 4K with the higher quality overall. But this is a beautiful looking film on 4K Ultra HD is really what I'm trying to get across. And it's just a great example of how film restoration is such a fantastic work. And I just give a lot of applause to those who are in that business. So bravo. So looks fantastic. The audio is an uncompressed binaural soundtrack and it sounds perfectly fine. The dialogue comes across well. everything in the soundscape sounds just fine. I mean, it's not a spectacular audio track, but it is absolutely fine and serviceable. And to go along with this beautiful looking picture is just a great presentation overall. Now, in terms of the supplements, there are some very nice supplements on this disc, including a nice audio commentary by film noir experts Elaine Silver and James Ursini. So that is definitely great to have an audio commentary on a disc. I always love that. And we do get an audio commentary on here. There is on this disc, on the Blu-ray disc, a supplement that I really enjoyed. The supplements include a new video essay by critic Farron Smith Neame, which talks about the women of this film, including, you see here, Dorothy Green at the top, Gloria Grahame in the top middle, Jocelyn Brando, who played his wife in this movie, Carolyn Jones, who was involved, unfortunately, with Lee Marvin, one of the women that Lee Marvin abused in this film. You have Edith Evanson, who helped Banyan at a certain point during his investigation. And you have Jeanette Nolan, who is at the bottom right there. She is the wife of the cop at the beginning who died. So all of these women play a very important role in this film. And what Farron Smith Neame is talking about in this feature is she talks about how Fritz Lang employed the femme fatale character throughout a number of his films, but he did something a little bit different in this movie in that he portrayed these female characters in a slightly different light. And she really does a good job of breaking down these characters and how they all played a very different type of a role, not your typical femme fatale, but they all displayed strength in a variety of different ways that was reminiscent of the women of this era. And I just think she did a really nice job talking about the strength of these women, what they brought to this film, and how their relationship with the detective Banyan, played by Glenn Ford, played such a pivotal role in this film's plot and narrative. So fantastic stuff. But the women of the Big Heat is a big part of this amazing, amazing story. So yeah, just a fantastic film. It is a landmark in film noir, unrelenting noir that explores vengeance, corruption, trauma. It's brutal even by the 1950s standards. Shocking scenes still resonate. Even from the very beginning of this film, a shocking scene, you're like, whoa, okay, this film is getting started on a very interesting note. Let's see where this goes. It pulls you in from the very beginning. And that it combines the procedural grit with emotional complexity, and it ranked among the essential noirs of the classic era. Now, this is again, a great film. I really enjoyed it. And of course, I would be remiss if I did not mention this essay by Jonathan Lethem called Fate's Network that is included in this fold out. So definitely take advantage of that wonderful essay. And again, this is just a fantastic addition from the Criterion Collection. I really enjoyed it. Again, the supplements also, I almost forgot to mention, you have a couple of discussions with Martin Scorsese and Michael Mann in the supplements as well. And that is great to see. And you also have two wonderful audio interviews of Fritz Lang, one by Peter Bogdanovich and the other by film historian Gideon Bachman. So that's from, I think these are interviews took place in the 1960s. Just fantastic audio interviews that you'll want to catch. So definitely take advantage of the supplements. They are a big part of what makes The Big Heat, spine number 1269 in the Criterion Collection on 4K Ultra HD, a great package and highly, highly recommended from me. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts on The Big Heat from the Criterion Collection on 4K Ultra HD. I had a chance to pick this up in the Barnes & Noble July sale. Let me know in the comments section below, what do you think of this film? Have you seen it? Have you seen The Big Heat? Let me know what you think about this film and other films from Fritz Lang, including M, Metropolis, and any of his films. What are your favorites from Fritz Lang? What are your favorite performances by Glenn Ford and Gloria Grahame? Of course, I also have another recommendation for you. Gloria Grahame played alongside Humphrey Bogart in A Lonely Place, which is also in the Criterion Collection on Criterion Blu-ray. Fantastic film, devastating film noir as well. That would make for a great pickup in the Criterion sale as well. She is brilliant in that film, and she's brilliant in The Big Heat, and that's part of the reason why I recommend it. But let me know what you think in the comment section below, and as always, thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time at the movies. Now I got to get on. Got just over 30 minutes before I go live and do the giveaway of Barry Lyndon in Brazil on Blu-ray. So my multitasking is working out. Have a great one. Peace.